They say that books are the way the dead talk to the living. And so the great floodgates of the wonder world swing open. And I passed through them. As a writer, Melville uses so many voices. He writes as a lawyer, then he writes as an historian, then he writes as a kind of rube, and then he writes as a kind of Shakespearean voice. And they're always changing.
As I was saying, whenever I feel a damp and drizzly November in my soul, and I start pausing before coffin warehouses and bringing up the rear of every funeral I meet, I say to myself, time to go to see.
It's funny because the book starts out, call me Ishmael. Well, you're never really sure, because Ishmael is thousands of characters. In addition to the actual characters on the boat, and many other people who were invoked, more or less.
And so I left the good city of Old Manhattan and arrived in Nantucket, a typical whaling port teeming with ships and sailors. Having inspected the various outbound vessels, I settled on a smallish weather-stained craft called the Pequod. One morning, I went aboard with the intention of signing up for a whaling voyage of 3 years.
It's an amazing way to tell a story, because you have this person talks, that person talks, the writer talks as this one, the other one talks as that one. So I'm trying to represent that in this work. Owen Chase was a captain of a ship, the Essex, and it was rammed by a big sperm whale. I guess in the 1820s. And then an account of that was written, and it really inspired Melville. He sort of based Moby Dick on that, but spun it off, in a million ways, obviously.
As for my knowledge of the bones of Leviathan, I will tell you where I got it. I am indebted to the late King of Tranquil. Some years ago, I visited him. He lived on an old sugarcane island. He had a love of all matters barbaric. He had a collection of glistening spears and costly paddles. Aromatic canoes, aromatic canoes.
When I read as a kid in high school, I read it quickly, and I was kind of bored, and I thought it was sort of too over the top in terms of a crazy campus. And I also thought it seemed like an old story, like I couldn't really relate to a bunch of guys cutting up blubber.
Call me the captain. Okay, now I'll be honest with you. I never read the book. Too big. Full of losers and cowards. Guys who ran away. Depressed, of course I'm depressed. I see the white world! No!
When I read it as an adult, I was really amazed by how much his picture of Americans of 150 years ago is similar to us. And as for me, when I go to sea, I go as a simple sailor. And the whale itself, forever unreachable, a giant snow on the horizon. Americans have an incredible ability to ask very basic and very naive questions. And the most basic is, why are we here? What are we here for? And you can hear, the strains of Emerson and transcendentalism of, "Don't you see a way when he comes rising up? Now sometimes he looks like a small white weasel, and sometimes he looks like a deep blue field." And when Melville asks that question, what are we here for? What are we looking for? He never answers it, which is, I love, It's about a search. See him lonely in parts. This tiny heart is beating hard. He's in pieces, in parts. So get it in your head, and there may be a few things you can't recall at all. But get it in your heart, and you're in peace.